Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make this beautiful blue lapis lazuli herringbone pendant. It is a wonderful technique to learn. Let's begin. You will need 1mm copper wire. One length is 15 centimeters long and then another length of 40 centimeters. And a few very pretty lapis lazuli beads if you have them, or use something that you have as well, as long as it is flattish and it has a hole through the length of it. Now you're going to thread that bead onto your short length of wire. Make a little curl at the end. I just do that to hold it because I've had so many beads fall off onto the. Now you're going to take your 40 centimeter length, make a little loop in the end, and then hook that over the wire. And then we're just going to squeeze it in and make sure it's firmly set onto the wire, that it doesn't slide up and down. Squeeze it on with the pliers, give it a little test, make sure that it is straight and that your core wire is also straight. This is quite a soft piece of copper, so I have to keep on straightening it out as I go along. Now your first bend is going to be to the right hand side, around the stone, to the front of the core wire, and then to the back, around its shoulder, and to the other side. Always wrapping from the front around to the back and back to the opposite side. Now you're bending the other side, so again around next to the stone. I'm just squeezing that wire down because it was at a funny angle. And then around it, not too tight and not too loose. Wrap it around, front over to back, around shoulders, and to the other side. So it's a full circle around the wire. And when you are bending your wire, make sure that you don't make it too tightly set around the stone, because as you do that twist around the shoulder of the core wire, it pulls it in tighter. So leave a little bit of slack there. And then if the loops are not tight enough, just give them a little squeeze with your pliers, and always keeping everything straight. We are just going to keep on doing this, wrapping around from left to right. Each one is a half and then a wrap, and then a halfway round and a wrap. And you can see that you are building up the wire pattern next to each other. If you pull too tightly, that wire is going to slip to the back of the stone, and that in itself, if you're doing that as a technique, it can work and it can look really nice. But you have to decide if you're going to go out sideways with your wires or make a little nest towards the back of the stone. You can see how it builds up, and it is a most satisfying technique. I love making herringbone, and if you are selling your jewelry, you'll find that they are very popular to sell. Just keep tidying up as you go. Squeeze it down if the gap is a bit small or too large. Keep those core wires straight. And you can see that I'm not pulling that wire too tight. I'm leaving a little bit of a gap there, a millimeter or two, about 2 millimeters, because as I twist it round the core wire, it tightens up again. We're getting near the end of our wire. We'll make one more turn, one more half turn, and then I'm going to wrap that wire, the tail, around the core wire. And then I'll show you how to do the bail. Very, very simple method, and very pretty. So you have one wire at the top of the pendant and bend it over, double in half, and put a little pretty kink in at the top. It always looks very attractive. And then what you're going to do is to take that little tail wire that's left over and give it a turn once around the bail wire. This will hold it into place. Now you're going to take your bail pliers and bend that loop over and over as many times as you need to make a nice secure bail. And you see how that wider top comes down and it makes a really pretty bail. Now we're going to pretty up the top and add a few copper beads. I'm going to thread on 3 of them onto that tail again, and then just finish it off in the front and make the top of the pendant look attractive and pretty. You can do anything you like here. You can add on any color beads you like or not at all. I don't mind. Use your own artistic ability. And then the little bail wire, that tail at the back, we just curl it around. Make it neat. Now we're on the bottom wire, the end of the pendant, and let's do something nice here as well. I've got a lovely little lapis lazuli bead and a few copper beads to add here. Thread them on and then give a little curl on the end of the wire so that they don't all fall off. And then we're going to flare out that copper wire to make it look good, shiny, and its own little feature. All on its own, it is attractive. Check all the wires, check that they're all lined up, bend everything straight, and you have made a beautiful pendant. Isn't it effective? Such a lovely technique. I hope yours turns out really well too. Thank you so much for watching. You are very special, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.